Hi, I'm Brett from Metropole. Well, demand for housing has skyrocketed in Brisbane, and I'm not talking about buying, I'm talking about renting. Greater Brisbane is in the middle of a rental crisis, the likes of which you've not seen for quite some time. With a record year of internal migration to the Sunshine State, the last year has seen fierce competition for housing. Many sick of COVID and lockdowns are moving to greener, or rather sunnier pastures. We all know that property prices have skyrocketed, but rents have also increased by more than 20% during the same period. With a national property arm here at Metropole, I'm seeing this firsthand on a daily basis. The media have also reported regularly on the rental crisis and the sad effects for those left without a place to live. So what is the state of play here at Ground Level and what are we seeing? Well, quite clearly the first thing is we're seeing a sharp rise in demand. We haven't had this internal migration to this extent for the last decade, and it's now starting to play out. And on the flip side, supply is also falling rather sharply. The 5-year average for this time of year is generally around 16,000 properties being leased or advertised for rent, and that's actually down almost 50% to just over 8,000. Quite extraordinary when you think about it. And while there's many contributing factors, I know one of the big factors is that investors are actually cashing in. Investors are cashing in and selling their properties, and the majority of people buying those properties are home buyers, so they're not returning to the rental market, and that's creating a huge shortage. It's quite sad for many people who are trying to find a home. I know a lot of businesses have also suffered setbacks because their rent rolls have decreased substantially with new home buyers taking up those sale of those properties. On the other side of the equation, we're also seeing vacancy rates plummet. Throughout the last decade, Brisbane vacancy rates are up around 5 or 6%. We just set a record in July at 0.9% and August come up to about 1%. So again, record lows. There's also some really devastating news with regards to the Queensland land tax proposals that were on offer. There was a huge amount of people that were actually going to look and sell their property. And again, if that trend had followed, it would have taken another layer out of that rental market. But gladly, there may be a glimmer of hope. And while it's not a game changer, the land tax rules and regulations have been reversed and will no longer go ahead. So we're taking those small wins at the moment. That's great from an investment perspective and also from a tenancy perspective, with many expected to pass on some of those costs. The poor old investor does get chastised at times for being greedy and selfish, but with a lack of support, a lack of vision, and a lack of game-changing policy to change this, investors are the only people who are actually providing housing for our community. There's no real long-term structural changes on offer, and it's quite short-sighted from the government. So who knows what the answer may be, but I understand that this is not going to go away anytime soon. As long as there's record number of demand and people keep moving to Brisbane, we need to find a way to increase that supply, or there's going to be some serious changes and some serious challenges ahead. Thanks for watching.